Hey, Christy here from loomingcraftyfiberarts. Today I want to teach you how to attach your leader to a bottom whorl spindle to get started spinning. Now I have another video that shows how to make your leader, and I will put the link to it in the description box below if you need to go back and look at it. Now, if you remember last video, if you watched my top whorl, we used a hook, excuse me, a spindle with a hook, and you wrapped around twice your leader. This one doesn't have a hook. It has a notch where you use a half hitch. So I'm going to show you two ways to attach your leader to a bottom whorl. There's two ways that I know of. There could be more, I don't know, but I'm going to show you two ways. And this one is different. It has a little notch in the bottom, and some do, some don't. So that's why I'm showing you two different ways, if you're wondering what your little notch is in your bottom whorl for. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our leader and we're going to lay it across underneath our shaft, and we're going to take our loop, fingers between our loop, and we're going to take the long part and pull it through that loop, just like that. And then we're going to snug it up and push it down. And then if you have the notch, we're going to put our yarn across the notch, wrap it around your notch a couple of times, bring it back up, and then make your half hitch. And then you're ready to spin. Excuse me, let me get my arm out of the way. Then you're ready to spin. Okay? Okay. Now, to do it the other way. And to me, this is the easiest way. But you can do it either way. To do it the other way, you lay it across the same way, pull the longer piece of yarn through, push it down all the way to the end, just like that. And then you need to wrap it on the shaft in the direction that you're going to be spinning your yarn. So you may have to hold it because it might try to slide around. Keep wrapping it, barber poling it up, and then make your half hitch. Barber poling it up will help hold it and lock it in place so it won't be sliding off your half hitch. Or your half hitch won't be sliding off. I guess that might be a better way to say it. And then you can, if you're right-handed, you'll be going this way. And if you're left-handed, some left-handers spin counterclockwise like I do. And then you'll attach your yarn up here. Okay, I mean your wool up here. Okay, so I'm going to go back the other way and attach it, because I want to show you, once you get your yarn started, how to take the leader off and start wrapping it. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing like I showed you to begin with. We're going to take this long part, pull it through the loop. And we're going to find our notch, wrap it around, bring it up, make our half hitch. Almost got my see, that holds it. Instead of having to wrap it around, barber poling it, it holds it to spin it, so it won't be coming out of your little notch here. But I prefer to do it the other way, but either way is fine. So now we're going to take our wool and we're going to draft it out a little bit. To draft it, you're just going to take the end and just kind of pinch it and pull it a little bit out. And then in my top whorl video, I also talk about a little bit more about drafting. You can go back and check that, about your staple length and that kind of thing. So we're going to take it and we're going to put it in between that little loop, and then we're going to sandwich it. Okay? Now, I've got my yarn sandwiched, and I'm going to start, I'm going to put it over my shoulder or my arm, depending on how long yours is, and then I'm going to start spinning. And I'm going to spin and draft. Now don't be worried about your first 6 inches to a foot of when you first start drafting. It's going to be a little thinner probably, or a different weight than what you are wanting to achieve in your spinning. And that's okay, because you're basically just extending your yarn here, where you're attached, and you're just trying to get it back onto your spindle so you can start spinning what weight you want to spin. So okay, now we have some made, and we're going to take off our half hitch, just like that. Now your yarn that you've spun right here is called your make, and you need to keep it taut or it will come undone. You'll lose all the energy in your twist. Now when you get your yarn like this, I'm holding on to my spindle, as you can see, so I have a taut, it won't come, and you can see where it's plying back on itself. It shows you kind of what your yarn's going to look like when you ply, and shows you how much twist you have in it, which this is a good amount. I'm going to butterfly it to bring it back to my spindle and put it back on the spindle. Now the butterfly, some people use their little finger and their thumb. I don't, because I like to keep mine pinched between my index finger and my thumb, so I butterfly between my little finger and my middle finger. So to butterfly, you take your make, put it behind your little finger, and underneath your ring finger, over the back of your middle finger, and then back around the back of your little finger. So basically what you're doing is you're making a figure 8, but they call it butterflying. Okay, so around the back of your little finger, underneath your middle finger, around the back of your pointer finger, and then back in front, and then back behind your little finger again. Now if you prefer to do it between your little finger and your thumb, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter. You can actually get more yarn on your hand that way, but I just prefer to do it this way. Okay, now, so you remember you have your yarn underneath here like this. You need to take it off if you've decided to attach your leader that way, and then start wrapping. I kind of pinch it down here so it will not slide around that little knot, and wrap it in the direction in which you're going to be spinning, and then start barber poling it up a little bit, and then I go down in a spiral, back up, got my hand away, sorry, down, back up, and then make sure you got enough to spiral back up your shaft and enough to make your leader. Just like that. Now if something happens, let me show you something. I'm going to have to untwist this a little bit because the way I was holding it, it got some of my energy went up into my fiber supply. And if that happens, you can turn it back the opposite way and it will take some of it out. Just don't take it out so much that it breaks in two. So if you make let's say you're wrapping your yarn on, and you wrap it on too much, and you got just not quite enough to make your half hitch. You've got enough energy left in this to pull it out just a little bit more, and I broke it. I'm glad you saw that. So let's barber pole it back up. Anyway, you got enough of energy left in it that you can actually draft out a little bit more so that you can make your half hitch. I do it sometimes, and I just go ahead and draft a little bit more. Okay, so you see that broke. I'm going to fan this out a little bit, and I'm going to lay this across it. And I'm going to kind of sandwich it over. And I'm going to draft some of it out. And then I'm going to give it some twist, and I'm going to kind of help it a little bit by twirling it with my hands. And then I can start spinning again. Now, some future videos, I'm going to show you more how you can fix little issues like that. Like, I'll show you more in detail how you can, if you make, you're putting your mate back on here and forming your cop, and you don't quite have enough to half hitch or wrap it. I'm going to show you how to remedy that, like I mentioned before. I will show you if it breaks, how to remedy that. I think I did in my other video too. So here we're taking our make. Remember, this is your make. And we're going to wrap it on. And when you wrap it onto your shaft, it's called your cop. We're going to go up and down, spinning, wrapping it in the same direction you spin. And barber pull it. Make sure you barber pull it back up, especially with a bottom whorl. And then do your half hitch. Now, if some of you have trouble with your half hitch, some people put their half hitch on with their thumb. I don't. It's not comfortable to me because I usually keep mine pinched so that my energy don't go up into my fiber supply like you seen it do a little while ago. And this gives me more control. So I do my half hitch on my middle finger. And so what I do is I take my yarn that gets so far from my spindle and I wrap it around my finger, and you'll learn how far to go. Just like this, my middle finger. And then I take my shaft and put it up underneath my finger like that. Push it up to your little notch and then hook it on. And then you're ready to start spinning again. Okay? So that's the way you attach a leader to a bottom whorl and begin spinning your yarn. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me in the comments below. Give me some likes, thumbs up, share this video. Everything helps me out. And in the future, we'll be working on more on drafting, consistent drafting, half hitches, anything that you have issues with, let me know. I'll also leave the link on the bottom to our beginner spindle spinning group, and I post links in there, and I do little things here and there and to help people out. So just let me know. Okay, you're welcome to join. We'll be glad to have you. Thank you and have a great day. Next video is Turkish spindles. Okay, bye bye.